ELSS has beaten the Nifty 500 TRI across all time periods. But with no tax benefit in the new regime, should you still invest in ELSS? I started my investing journey with it. But today, many are switching to flexi-cap and multi-cap funds. Why? Are they giving better returns? Let's break it down. Before that, please subscribe to the Wealth Palette by Vamika if you haven't already, as I see 90% of the viewers are not subscribed yet. Your subscription and support helps me bring more valuable content to you faster at absolutely no cost. Okay, let's get started. So in this video, we'll understand what are the key differences between ELSS, FlexiCap and Multicap, returns of ELSS, FlexiCap and Multicap funds compared to Nifty 500 TRI. Lastly, we'll evaluate all three to understand which one suits your investing purpose. Let us first understand what are ELSS, FlexiCap and Multicap funds. ELSS is Equity Linked Savings Scheme. These are equity mutual funds that invest minimum 80% in equity. Your investments in ELSS funds are eligible for deduction of up to 1.5 lakhs under Section 80C. This fund has no restriction on how much to invest in large, mid or small cap. However, there is a lock-in of 3 years. That means once invested, you cannot withdraw within those 3 years. The purpose of ELSS funds is tax saving, but at higher returns than PPF and 5-year FDs. This fund tracks and tries to beat the return of Nifty or BSE 500 TRI. FlexiCap invests minimum 65% in equity, and it's called FlexiCap because it can invest in large, mid and small cap in any proportions. So there is high allocation flexibility. Also, there is no lock-in for investors. However, there is an exit load if funds are withdrawn within 1 year, which is usually 1% of the redeemed amount. FlexiCap is for investors looking for good equity allocation with high flexibility. It tries to beat the return of Nifty or BSE 500 TRI. Lastly, Multicap, as the name suggests, invests 25% minimum in large, mid and small cap each. So its minimum equity allocation adds up to 75%. Its flexibility is lower than ELSS and FlexiCap because it has to allocate 25% as per SEBI guideline in large, mid and small cap each. Similar to FlexiCap, there is no lock-in. However, there is an exit load if funds are withdrawn within 1 year, which is usually 1% of the redeemed amount. Multicap's purpose is to have serious and disciplined focus on diversification as an investor. It tracks Nifty 500 Multicap 50-25-25 TRI. This index tracks Nifty 500 companies in which large cap weight is 50%, mid cap weight is 25% and small cap weight is the remaining 25%. Let's understand the returns of ELSS, FlexiCap and Multicap in the last 1 year, 3, 5 and 10 years compared to Nifty 500 TRI. I'm looking at the returns of direct mutual funds. Hope you're also investing in direct mutual funds and not in regular funds. Regular mutual funds are distributed through mutual fund distributors, and hence the expense ratio of these funds is at least 1% higher than direct mutual funds. That is why regular mutual funds give 1% lower return than direct mutual funds because of higher expense ratio. ELSS beat Nifty 500 TRI in all time periods. In the last 3 years, it gave 2% higher return. FlexiCap gave higher return than ELSS and therefore by default higher than Nifty 500 TRI in all time periods. In the last 10 years, it gave 2% higher return than Nifty 500 TRI. Multicap has outperformed ELSS and FlexiCap in all time periods except the last 1 year. It gave 6% higher returns than Nifty 500 TRI in the last 3 years. This is majorly because of bull run in mid and small cap from 2023 to 2025. In the last 1 year, mid and small cap have been giving average returns. Hence, Multicap also gave average returns, while FlexiCap and ELSS have been performing better than Multicap because of flexibility of allocation based on market value changes. Key takeaway on returns is, first, in all time periods except in the last 1 year, FlexiCap has given better returns than ELSS. Second, Multicap has given higher returns than ELSS and FlexiCap in all time periods except in the last 1 year because of mid and small cap giving average returns. That was about returns. Now let's compare the expense ratio of these mutual fund categories. Here also, Flexi and Multicap had lower expense ratio than ELSS mutual fund. Since mutual funds are dependent on how individual funds perform, also look at how many mutual funds beat their respective index in the last 10 years. There are 28 ELSS direct mutual funds which are active for the last 10 years. 57% of these, that is 16 mutual funds, have beaten the Nifty 500 TRI in the last 10 years. years. For Flexi Cap, 11 out of 19 have beaten the index in the last 10 years. Now, there are limited options in multi-cap because 25 out of 35 mutual funds had to convert their multi-cap funds to Flexi Cap after SEBI's guideline, which said that multi-cap funds needed to have 25% allocation each in large, mid and small cap. Hence, the number of multi-cap funds that are older than 10 years are only 6. 5 out of these 6 multi-cap funds have beaten the index it is tracking in the last 10 years. So if multi-cap and flexi-cap are better than ELSs on all parameters, then for whom are ELSs funds still beneficial? It's for people who have deductions greater than 6.5 lakh and fall in the income tax bracket between 13.5 to 20.5 lakhs, or people in any income tax bracket who have deductions greater than 7.75 lakhs. For them, investing in ELSs to claim ATC deductions would be beneficial. Now, who are these people who would have deductions greater than 6.5 lakh per year? Example, if a salaried employee claims HRA deduction of 3.5 lakhs, interest on home loan of 2 lakhs, tax in saving instrument deductions under ATC of 1.5 lakhs, health insurance deduction of 50,000 and NPS deduction of 50,000, total deduction would add up to 8 lakhs. And hence, they can think of continuing to deploy in ELSS funds for their ATC deductions, because ELSS investments give higher returns than other tax saving instrument options. Although it is at higher risk, as there is 80% equity exposure in ELSS mutual funds. Now let us evaluate ELSS, flexi-cap and multi-cap on 5 parameters: returns, expense ratios, lock-in period, number of mutual funds, and lastly, flexibility of allocation within them. Flexi-cap and multi-cap give higher returns than ELSs in all time periods. However, multi-cap's outperformance depends on mid and small cap bull run. Please note that past performance is not indicative for future returns too. And since we are discussing investing in equities, there are inherently higher risks and volatilities involved. Volatility is higher in mid and small cap compared to large cap, which I have explained in detail in this video. Do check that video out after this. On expense ratios also, flexi and multi-cap are better than ELSs. ELSs have a lock-in period of 3 years, which is okay in my view because that should be your minimum investment horizon while investing in equities. While flexi and multi-cap do not have any lock-in, but if you withdraw within a year, there will be an exit load of 1% of the redeemed amount. Number of multi-cap fund options which have fund history of greater than 10 years are limited because of SEBI regulation on which fund can be called multi-cap. However, there are more options in the last 3 years after the regulation on multi-cap changed. In terms of investing flexibility, ELSS and flexi-cap fund managers have higher flexibility to allocate basis market valuation changes, while multi-cap has moderate flexibility with dedicated allocation to large, mid and small cap in equal proportion. So final conclusion is that if your income tax deductions are greater than 7.75 lakhs, then you should continue your ELSS investments. In most cases where deductions are less than 7.75 lakhs, new tax regime is beneficial. You can check your specific use case from this table in the video. And for taxpayers under the new tax regime, you can consider flexi and multi-cap for higher returns. Please note that all the discussions on this channel are for educational purposes only. Please make decisions after your own research according to your financial goals and risk appetite. If you're interested in ETF investing, check out my complete playlist in which I've covered all aspects of ETF investing. Okay, that brings us to the end. Hope this video added value to your investing journey. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.